What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from the inside of my office. Hold on, let me mute the other secondary feed there. Yes, welcome to this show. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Now, I titled this video, check out this random neat stuff, because it's pretty much random neat stuff, and I want to make sure before I process it, I think it's my due diligence to make sure that you guys know exactly what I'm hustling. So anyways, I'm going to show you this stuff for the next 20 or 30 minutes. As always, hit the like button. You can hit it right now because the content coming from this channel is pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about, I have some stuff that I found today. I have a couple of things that I found this weekend. But more importantly, I hope you guys had a really good 4th of July. If this is seen way later in the year, then it's not going to make any sense anymore. But I hope you guys had a great holiday, and I hope you guys got out there to do some hustling and everything like that. Now, this past July 4th weekend was really sucky for garage sales, but fortunately, if you're kind of in the know with other things and you're part of email lists, then you get marketed some really cool things and some great opportunities. So I urge you guys and gals to follow your favorite companies out there, your favorite local companies, join their email lists, get the coupons, the discounts, but you're going to get, newsletters. And that's really important, the newsletters, because that pertains to one of the things that I found today. So today I went to Salvation Army. What am I talking about? I went to Savers. I did it before. I made sure to do some work in the morning at a coffee shop that was close to a Savers. It was a huge regret because the coffee shop had terrible Wi-Fi. And as I was reading the Yelp reviews while I was in the coffee shop, one of the reviews was like, "This place is full of roaches." And I was like, "Oh my God, kill me now." So anyway, I went to a Savers right after that. Let me show you what I found from the Savers, okay, which is right across the street from this one coffee shop, which had a lot of good reviews, but the roach one was really creeping me out, hardcore. I started looking around for roaches, and I don't like roaches at all. I don't think there's a single person on this earth that's like, "Oh yeah, roaches rule," I don't think that it's even a case. So 27 live viewers in the house. Who do we have in the house here? Thrifty Treasures, Michael Brown, Super Sunshine Thrifter, Jason Kreider, Bobby Moons. All right, so I'll pick this thing up right here. This was the very first find, and this is a pretty solid find. This must be number 12 that I've found since I learned about them. And shout out to Mr. Young, who taught me about these back in the day. And they actually have also found their way into our guide, which is the first link down below, 100 amazing items to resell. But these are Z-Coil shoes. They look crazy. They look like half moon shoe, half normal shoe. And these Z-Coils in white, I should be able to get, if I hold out for them, I should be able to get about 75 bucks for these. I thought I was going to pay $10.81 for them, right? Because that's the standard price of $9.99 plus tax here in Austin, Texas. But I brought them up to the register and they come up as $5. And I'm like, ooh, morally, I'm like, I'm supposed to say it's $10 and the whole be moral. But I looked in the tag and it was half off purple tags, and this thing had a purple tag. So that was real good. It made me feel real good. But I was about to say, "Hey, I think you made a mistake." So if people do make a mistake out there, especially thrift stores and stuff like that, I think you're under an obligation to, "Hey, I don't think you got this item in the basket," or "I think you miscalculated that one," or something. Let them know. So these are Z-Coil shoes. Very important. If you ever find these things, they come in plethora of different colors. They come in black, this, multi, blue, yellow, white ones, just different ones. And so Z-Coil are pretty interesting. These are, and the keywords on this would be orthopedic, walking. I believe those are the main keywords. But Z-Coil have a little spring underneath. It's a really good shoe size. This is a women's 10 actually, which is a pretty strong shoe size because a lot of 7.5s and 8s will sell. But then, for the women that have size 10 feet, they're like, "Well, the hell am I going to get my Z-Coils from? I don't want to buy them brand new." So I've got, if you get these absurdly, not absurd, but 10 on a woman is a little bit outside of the norm range, right? And so I always pick up those. It's like picking up maybe a double E on a male when it comes to New Balance shoes or something like that. And some people just have bigger feet. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's one of the reasons why I popped on it, because now, if it had been Shaquille O'Neal, size 22 women's feet, I probably wouldn't have touched it, right? But you know what I'm saying. Z-Coil shoes, pretty good. Thought that was a good, solid pickup. There is one pickup down here that I was pretty proud of finding, but I cannot show it to you guys because I just learned about it in the green room last week, and I was commenting on the post. I was like, "That's a really good bolo." I couldn't believe it. And then I found one today. I was like, "Holy crap." I found one, and of course, in the store, I'm like, "All right, let me just make sure the bolo is still good." And the item was $5, and it's just a part of this item is worth about 30 to 40 bucks. It's not the item itself. The whole item itself would sell for about 55, but I don't think I want to ship the whole thing out. But this one part of the item is worth some pretty good coin. But I learned it from the green room, so that's pretty awesome, you know. And I want to make sure I put a post in the green room today, hopefully highlighting the person that put it there. But anyway, there's definitely something that I'm going to show the green room in about 2 hours or so once I get most of my day done. But that's in this one bag right here. Let me take out this other bag. I went to a thrift store that's only open from Wednesday to Saturday today, and that was right after I went to Savers. Hopefully you guys are having fun, guys and gals. Anyway, lots of really cool people here in the feed. We got Thriller Gorilla Picker in the house. Thriller Gorilla Picker, man, I think I want you to be on one of my shows because you're always on my feed, and it would be really cool to do a show with you. So hit me up behind the scenes on Bonafide Hustler Facebook, and if you want to be on my show, let's do it. So this is one of the things I picked up. Now, I picked this up for myself. I think the resale on this, I probably could 3 times my money, but it's also a 338,000 Rankin toys. It's not worth sending in my book, but this was $3, and I think it was like yielding like 9 something on FBA. So I'm not going to send it in, but I will play with it. Okay, so this is some sort of like Kendama Pro model. It's made by Omega, which makes yo-yos, and this is not a yo-yo. It's called like a toss and catch kind of thing. I can't wait to mess with it. And if you look at videos about this thing, it kind of blows your mind what people can do with it. So Kendama Pro model. Like I said, I've never played with this, but it looks hella fun, and I want to mess with it. So, and my brother and I are the kind of people who love messing with little stupid things like this. So anyway, that's that. Thrifty Treasures, Tanya, yes, go check out the green room in about 2 hours. I will put down this thing that I learned about like literally 2 or 3 days ago, and I will put it in the room. I'm looking right at it right here. It's marked at $5, but one part of the item is easily worth about 30 to 40. So, and it's the best part. It's not even like a super heavy part too. The other part's the heavy part. So, okay, this was pretty awesome. I could not, and this kind of is a reminder to always watch my shows, right? Because last week I did a show on this right here, okay, which is basically vintage radio controls. I did a show, and the vintage radio control stuff was part of it. And here in a bag, and I didn't even like look twice. I saw $7. I saw this thing, and I was like, all right, buying it, you know. But let me kind of open the bag right here on live Bonafide Hustler TV to show you what I was kind of explaining in the last episode, right? Or the film that I showed. Okay, so we were looking at pictures that of past items that had sold in my eBay store, and one of the things was a radio-controlled Nico, not a flashback. It was called something. It was a green radio-controlled car. I called it. It was on the cusp of radio-controlled technology. Like it's almost to the point where you don't want to buy this one because the tires weren't squishy. So vintage radio control stuff, and I'm about to show you something that if you found it even mint. The last one on eBay that was mint sold for like 120 or so. And then other ones that are kind of mint are in the 70, 80 range. But here we have a Turbo Panther. Now, it kind of sucks. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is a radio-controlled Turbo Panther, old school Nico radio control. In good shape, right? This nice bumper right here really prevented a lot of kids from damaging them on sidewalks and stuff. As I stated before, a lot of times you can tell a good radio-controlled car based upon if you can see the suspension, and that's a hobby grade one. But consumer grade ones, since they know kids are going to be playing with it, they kind of lock up all the stuff, so you can't take the body off even if you tried. You have to get a screwdriver out and all that kind of stuff. But still, when it comes to vintage radio-controlled stuff, you're going to be wanting to look for brands like Radio Shack and Tyco and Nico. So this one is a Nico. You know, if you don't look twice, this thing will just like fly right by your head, right? So Nico, it's his frame buggy, but this is definitely a Turbo Panther. I thought it was going to be what's called a Grasshopper, which was made by another company. It's a more hobby grade kind of thing, but the tires are squishy, right? I said that's one of the things you want to look for is squishy tires. So these are really squishy. A lot of times when I pick these up, they're going to have what's called flat spots on the tire. And that's when the car sits, since the tires are squishy and the car sits on the shelf or somewhere for a very long extended period of time, the squishing, you know, the gravity of the car and the weight of the car, along with Earth's gravity, you know, makes it sit down and it presses one of the tires in. Like, you know, I see this all the time. So you can see this tire, we know exactly where that thing was kind of sitting down. You can see the tire is squished, and it's impossible to get unsquished. You can sometimes do it, but for the most part, it's impossible. But the person that's going to buy this car doesn't care about that. They might have one of these Turbo Panthers and it's broken, and they need like an A-arm. They need a certain part of this thing to make it complete, or they just have 4 really good wheels and they just want to put it on this. Now, this one's in great condition. It's got the netting on the side. It has the 2 lights, which almost typically break off every single time. And we also have, like I said, on consumer grade radio control cars, you'll get this high and low switch in the back. So if you see an H and L on the back like that, then that's kind of the indicative sign of a really good car. So this one doesn't even have a battery pack. It takes actual batteries in here, which is cool. But like I said, one of the main things I talked about in that last show was that when you get the controller and you see it, a lot of times it has this like extra gear, like to higher turbo gear, and this one has it. So it has normal, forward, and then if you click it to the side like a gearbox kind of thing, it goes into high gear. You can kind of see it right there. Now that's one of the reasons why you really know that this one's one of the special ones. So I'm going to try to get about 70 to 80 bucks for this thing if I can. We have controller. We have a charger that goes to the car if the car has rechargeable batteries in it, which this one doesn't, but you can power it with just normal AA's, which was very indicative of the 80s and Nico cars. So something to look forward to. I'm sure it's going to test out just fine. Even if it didn't, it wouldn't even matter. Someone would definitely want to get this thing for about 70 to 80 bucks. So that's one of the finds right there. I thought that was pretty solid. I paid $7 for that thing. Pretty good find. Dude, the weirdest thing about that thrift store is they gave me in these bags that look like this. I've never gone to a place where they give me these things, and it was one of these like Christian-based stores or something like that. Now I feel guilty because I know I need to throw these things away, but I'm like, they gave me these things. And the funny thing is, like, I was the only person that got them. For some reason, everyone else got paper bags and stuff, and then they whipped out 3 of these things and gave them to me. I'm gonna throw them in the trash regardless, but I kind of feel a little bit guilty because these are nice. But I have no use for this kind of stuff. This is one of the things, if you're a reseller and you start thinking like, well, I'll just kind of keep that for a little bit, you're screwed. All right. Down the road, you're screwed. Some point, you're going to have a terrible family argument. You're going to have all kinds of things going wrong. You're going to have a hoarding situation. You need to get rid of things as you get them. And I always have donation and trash boxes every single week, like just in my house. Like, okay, things that don't work out as planned, throw them in the boxes. Random trash that doesn't belong in the trash, but it belongs to donation, like throw it in the boxes. But don't ever keep things and just stow them away in drawers and hide things around your house. Don't ever do that. Okay, what else did I find? $1.50 personal alarm. That's got like a 40,000 rank or maybe a 4,000 rank in something that's selling for $10. That's pretty good. $1.50 to $10. I'll take that. And when I say $10, I mean that's like after fees and everything. Thought that was pretty good. And then I found 3 of these Bachmann straight rails right here. These were $2.50 and they're selling for about, I think, $10 as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty good. Rankin toys on this one, I cannot remember, but 3 of these things for $2.50 a piece, selling for $10. That's what the check will be, netted $10. Now, of course, that surprise item that's in the corner that I can't show right now. So that's what I found from the thrift store today. I thought it was a pretty solid day. The Z-Coil shoes were already like, it made the 30 minutes of me picking right after that coffee shop like way worth it, so Z-Coil shoes, awesome. And then that radio control car, those are the big winners right there. Okay, so this past weekend, like I said, it was July 4th weekend. I didn't find much stuff at all. The best find from this weekend is actually sitting in my garage, adjustable dumbbells. I found them, I'm not even kidding, adjustable dumbbells from 5 to 50 pounds. I found them for $10, $10. Like, I almost didn't buy them because when I walked up to the garage sale, I saw them and they were like on the little pedestal thing, but there were like so many weights missing. And I was like, okay, I don't buy incomplete things like that. I don't care. I don't want to mess with that. But then I decided, like, I was getting kind of bored because my brother was taking kind of a long time searching around the garage sale. And I asked the guy, I was like, do you know where where can I get replacement weights for these things? I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, maybe if I can get the replacement weights for cheap, like I might get into this. And he was like, oh, the weights are sitting in my car, like right there. So he brings the weights out and I'm like, how much do you want for this entire thing? Thinking he's going to say like $50, $100. And at $50, I still would have bought it. But he says $10. He's like, I'm just trying to get rid of some of the stuff my roommate left behind. I couldn't believe it, man. Like, anyway, so like if you know about adjustable dumbbells and adjustable weights, I mean, this stuff is gold in towns. So anyway, yeah. Thought that was pretty good. Oh, I guess my partner Raken is live right now, so go watch Raken if you want to. Let's talk about now. The reason why I said that this is a random haul of random stuff, and in the beginning of this broadcast, I said make sure you're signed up to email lists of your favorite stores, that kind of stuff, because you get notifications on special things, like more importantly, special sales, discounts. Okay, so this past weekend, this one store in town, a bike store, has a lot. It was cleaning out a lot of inventory, right? Everything except for bikes was slashed like 30 to 50%. I'm like, all right, so I'll show up, and I show up, do a lot of scanning. I'm there for like an hour, and I really don't pick up anything. What did I pick up? A pair of gloves for myself, so I didn't pick up much. But I get an email. I think this was the day before 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken. So July 3rd. All right, so I get an email early in the morning. It says, last day of the sale. Everything's 50% off. It's normal 50% off price. Now, at that point, things start clicking in my head. Like, I got to show up. So I go there first thing in the morning, man. I am there. As it opens up, I am there. And this is what I found. So I spent $270. I'm keeping a couple things here, okay? But I'll show you the entire haul. That way you can kind of see what's up. So one of the things I am keeping, this Pearl Izumi Bicycle Sports Shop jersey. I ride a lot, and here in Austin, Texas, it's really hot. And it's good to have nice perforated, hopefully you can see that, nice perforated wear instead of like t-shirts like this. I could wear, sleeveless stuff, but the more parts of your body that are covered, the more parts of your body, the more, how do I say it? When you sweat, it stays on here instead of just evaporating in the air. It helps cool you down. And on top of that, when you're going through brush and crazy things, like I don't want to be hitting poison ivy with my shoulder. I'd much rather hit it with this. When wasps come around, sometimes if they hit you just right, they'll sting you. That sucks. So the more parts of your body that are semi-covered, like you don't get hit. So that's just, as a rider, you start to appreciate certain things. And a shirt like this, believe it or not, it was it's like $60. So I paid $25 for this. I'm keeping this for myself. But like I said, I have to show you the entire haul so you can kind of grasp like what I bought. So that was $25. I decided to pop on that for myself. Now, here's something. We have a sale price of $99.99 on the side. Original price $351.99. Marked down to $99.99. I pick it up for $50. Okay, what the hell's in this box? This is a SRAM Red 1125 or 1125 cassette for the rear. It's just this. You might be thinking, what the hell? Why is this worth some good money? So this right here, selling anywhere between $150 to about $200. This is this cassette, the rear cassette for a road bike. It is SRAM Red, right? And it is brand new. Okay, so SRAM Red is basically one of the best shifting components out for road bikes right now. So anytime you see SRAM Red, all right, there you go. You should be very interested on what is there, right? I put a video the other day of some SRAM Red cranks that I picked up from a garage sale for $20. I think this was like 3 weeks ago. I sold the cranks for 100 something. I can't remember. They were carbon cranks. So yeah, and they were SRAM Red as well. So SRAM Red, there you go. A full SRAM Red kit for a bike, as in like the cranks, the chain, the cassette, front shifter, rear shifter, brake levers. All that is going to run you about $2,700. Like, it's really expensive stuff. Yeah. So people, when they take road cycling very seriously, they want strong components. They want light components. They want components that are going to last. But more importantly, they just want really dependable, lightweight stuff. So SRAM Red is basically on the cutting edge of all that kind of stuff. How long will I have the SRAM Red before the cheddar comes is one of the comments I just got from Philip Downer. This is a good question. The last SRAM Red component I had sold within a week, I want to say. It was very, very short. So this one right here, I would assume 14 days max on this. If I get a really competitive price, my store is already on sale. That should be a pretty easy flip right there. So there's some SRAM Red stuff right there, pretty easy. I got this GoPro Suction Cup mount. I blindly bought this thing. This one right here has a sale new price of $39.99. So any store around America that you try to find this thing. This is real GoPro stuff. I cannot put it on Amazon, so you know that. Anything that's GoPro, you can't put on Amazon. This is a GoPro mount suction cup. This is good for people that want to do race car kind of stuff, talking while you're driving, like it's a suction cup thing. More importantly, it really goes on the outside of vehicles. This is what really people really use it for. This was $39.99 normal price, $12.99 sale price. I paid half of that, $6.50. I'll just list it for $30 and put it in a first class padded poly. It should just do fine. That's what that looks like right there. That was brand new. What else did I get? Decided to pop on this. I'm gonna try to aim for 40 on this guy. This one is marked at $59.99. All right, $59.99, $19.99 sale price. Half of that is what I paid, $10 for this. This is the dog harness. You put this on the back of your dog. Your GoPro goes on the top. You get this pretty cool view. It's still shaky as hell, but that was a pretty good pickup right there. I'm gonna aim for 40 bucks on that. Solid. Thought that was a pretty good one. I just couldn't help myself, so I bought a secondary pair of gloves. The crazy part was the first set I bought the day before the big 50% off sale. I paid 20 bucks for them, and then of course I go back for the 50% off sale, and now I get the secondary pair for 10 bucks. They're exactly the same gloves, but this is some of the stuff I ride with in Austin. It looks like something from Mad Max films, I know, but you got to be protected out there, and you got to have perforated stuff because it's hot. So that's what I ride with. Decided to pop on this, which is pretty awesome. Crankbrothers is a really good Crankbrothers is a really good components company that builds seat posts. They build hubs and wheels. But they're mostly known for stems and pedals. Crankbrothers race pedals right here in the box. These are marked at $164.99. Sale price $99.99. I pay half of that. I'm gonna move them for about $100 because the market is so efficient on these. They sell so many of these in the market, but the black one happens to be one of the ones that sells for about $100 to $119. So I thought that was pretty good. All right, these are pedals for downhill mountain biking. Pretty heavy, actually. That was a pretty solid pickup. Here we go, another GoPro. Oh, this was a really good one. This is probably going to be one of the ones that sells pretty fast. This is the Jaws clamp. This one is marked at $49.99 regular price. So every store in town is probably about $49.99. Sale price $14.99. I paid half of that, $7.50 for a Jaws clamp right there. I'm going to try to eke out about 30 to 40 bucks on this guy. I actually own one of these already. They're pretty awesome. So that was a pretty solid pickup. This is interesting. I'll show you this one. What else did I get? I think this is basically it. I got a tire for my 26-inch mountain bike right here. I paid I don't even know what I paid for it anymore. Oh yeah, I paid 15 bucks for it. 26-inch tires that are brand new, that are tubeless ready, are very kind of tough to find now. So finding a tire for 15 bucks for a bicycle. This is a good tire. It's called a Butcher. It's a very all mountain based tire. Strong. 15 bucks is a steal for that thing. I could resell that thing for about 30 bucks, but I have to keep it for my bike. All right, so the last thing that I picked up, thought that was pretty cool. Oh, there's two more things over here. So this is kind of interesting. This right here is a 26 by 4.7 tire. So just to give you guys an idea of what that is, look how big this tire is, okay? This is a tire for a bicycle. It's in here, and it's rolled flat, right? Because it has a Kevlar bead, more than likely. So this tire is, okay, so normal bikes, normal hybrid bikes that you see cruising around downtown, all that kind of stuff, have a 26 times 1.5, like it's an 1.5 inch diameter, 26-inch, wheel, but an 1.5 inch, not diameter, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about, 1.5 inch width. So a mountain bike that you might see going through a trail has a 2.2 inch width, right? About normal, right? 2.2 to 2.3. This thing is a 4.7. These are put on what's called fat bikes. They look like they've got enormous tires. They're absurd looking, and they're good for snow and beach and just random stuff and just like novelty kind of stuff. So a tire for this, all right, regular price on a Surly Big Fat Larry 26 by 4.7, $129.99. Think about that for a second. That's one tire for a bike. $129.99. Sale price $64.99. I paid half of that, which is, yeah, you figure that part out. 27? No, did I do my math right? No, sorry, I did it totally wrong. It's $32.50. Okay, so $32.50 is what I paid for it. I'm gonna shoot for $100 for this thing, and there has been a couple. I think there's one or two that have sold on eBay for $100. I'll hold out for that. Pretty nice. They come in this gigantic, like, looks like there's a freaking mini keg in here, but this is a tire. It's crazy, and it's freaking bonkers, man. So that's pretty interesting right there. And then the last two things I popped on, I'll get one of them. The main reason why I was going to this sale is because last year when I went to this sale, I did extremely well on day 1. They didn't have a day 2 where they like liquidated everything for 50%. All they had was a day 1. So I went to it and I did super good at it. Like I just bought a bunch of stuff, put it to FBA, never filmed any of it for you guys. And then I showed you a couple things that had sold like in later videos that I'd done. All right, hold on. Anyway, let me mute this phone real quick. So anyways, this is basically a Thule console 2. It's a cover that goes on some sort of a kid carrier, kid stroller kind of thing. It's just, you know, this thing sells for about the net that I would get paid is about 58, I want to say. And I paid for each one of these. Normal price is $49.99 on FBA. You know, they're cutting checks for about 57, 58 bucks for it. I paid half of $25.99 for each one. The rank is, I don't think the rank is even there. And that's what might scare a lot of people. But that's one of the things that's really good about it is that the rank is, that's usually why I pop on a lot of this stuff, is because there is no rank. And I send in tires, I send in Thule things, I send in all kinds of stuff because it just sells well. I cannot explain it. There's no rank. I know a lot of shoes get like this too. But yeah, I take a stab at it. It's current day stuff. It's a Thule console 2. I got 2 of them for that price. You know, that alone just makes my time worth it at the sale. I spent 40 minutes at that sale and I bought all that stuff for 277 bucks. So I thought it was a pretty solid, you know, kind of day between the SRAM Red thing and the Surly Fat Tire and, you know, those GoPro things and that Thule thing. I mean, well worth my time. That's the reason why I wanted to make this video, is to just show you guys before I process this stuff, like what I'm kind of getting into. But the real lesson learned here is I would have never made it to that sale. I would have never had something that kind of saved the weekend, you know, because it was July 4th weekend and garage sales just totally sucked. I would have never had something that saved the weekend had it not been for me getting on email lists of those companies. So it's really important that, you know, if you follow the brands that you enjoy and that you follow, because this kind of stuff occurs also with other things like Canon refurbs and you know, follow your favorite brands, because when they have deals on refurbished items or whatever and they're like liquidating it out, the first ones to the table can get some really good things. So that's the real lesson learned here, is follow your favorite companies in town. And yeah, you'll be surprised how many different little swap meets you get invited to, little micro garage sales. You know, these things are just like, yeah, big garage sale, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, food and drinks, like comped. And that's what you get when you get on an email list. You get these little private things. So this was a big public sale, but I've been to private ones before that are very interesting, and you can score so well at them. But they've all come from email lists. Anyways, that's pretty much it. We have Robert Spencer with one last comment. How much does Bikes to Bucks cost? It is 40 bucks right now. It's the price it's been forever. And it's a guide that's down below in my description. Go check it out. It's something I built about a year ago. It took me forever to build. And it really gets you guys accustomed to the bike game, how to make money out of it, and how to do really well at it. So anyways, that's pretty much the video. Hopefully you guys loved it. If you found some interesting things and you learned a couple things, then make sure to hit the like button, and I will make sure to you know, just keep filming these videos on the stuff that I find over the weekends. Take it easy. See you later. Goodbye.